All right, hello everyone. We're back with Cash to Capital. We got a market update today. Gonna talk about Jerome Powell, the stock market, Donald Trump, among other things. So, what you got to say?
A lot of things going on, guys, in the market. We got right now hovering over us. We got the Greenland news. Trump is imposing tariffs on any country that opposes the Greenland sale to the United States. So Trump is playing a bully pulpit move to try and get Greenland and put his chess pieces in play. I mean, we haven't seen nothing like this in a long time, but this is what Trump does. The market is reacting to it. The futures are down over 300, 400 points. So probably going to be another volatile session this week. A lot of stuff going on.
For sure. Make sure to be on the lookout. In the markets might be some good buying opportunities. But right now, we'll be reacting to Jerome Powell's response to Donald Trump. We're gonna get into that right now.
Evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
Yo, drop one of Clue's bombs on Fred Jerome Powell, man. We
Drop
got
a what?
bomb, we got clap.
Oh yeah.
Drop one of his bombs on. Drop one of the bombs on Fed Jerome Powell.
Yeah. So
Kudos
definitely.
to
What happened?
kudos to. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, shout out to Jerome Powell for sticking up for himself. And I want to say essentially was what he was talking about in that video is that Jerome Powell, he's the chair of the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve has a project to renovate their headquarters. And essentially he's saying he's being indicted for the reservations being misused, or essentially taxpayer dollars being used to renovate are being, misused for the renovations. But he's saying that that's pretty much just an excuse that Donald Trump's using to either scare him into lowering interest rates or just to get him locked up in general.
Is basically a bully move by Trump. Trump is basically bullying Powell to do interest rates to change to cut interest rates based on what Trump wants and not what the data says. That's exactly what Powell said, right? So he said all the other stuff is nonsense. It's precursor for this. Trump just wants to bully him and to change. And Fed Chair Powell's like, it's enough. I'm not doing it. Okay, I'm doing it based on the data. I'm doing it based on the American people. Good for him. What I will say is I think Jerome Powell is a little bit late to cut interest rates, but now he's just going on the data. So the other thing is that Jerome Powell's basically leaving. He'll be out in March or April. So the next person come in, you best believe they're gonna do whatever Trump wants. So I just think you can't go against Trump. You see, he gonna come after you, man. You know. So he gonna try to hit you with paperwork, send you to jail. He don't care, man. He's really using the bully pulpit to do what he wants, man. But it's a shame because this is America and we shouldn't do things that way.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I think, with for presidents in general, usually they want rates to be cut because it makes the economy look good and makes it seem like the country's doing well. But, the Fed, they can't just cut rates all the time.
You know,
So they have to do it based on the data and what's
with
best for the
inflation
country
already
is.
being high, it doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah.
And we really need, like he said, like checks and balances, rule of law. If not, what are we doing? So are we a dictatorship now? That's what it looks like.
Next thing we'll be talking about would be Google and Apple. So essentially, Google's AI model is going to be powering Apple intelligence features moving forward, and that's including Siri. So this is big for both companies. We talk about Google all the time, pretty much. Since our last video, they reached a $40 trillion market cap. But I want to focus more on Apple with this one because I think when it comes to AI, Apple's been kind of the laggard with a lot of the big tech companies, and especially with Apple Intelligence, it's really just hasn't been used, and Siri as well is not really that helpful. So I think Siri being powered by Gemini as well as the other Apple Intelligence features is really big for Apple moving forward.
Guys, this has been a pivotal year for Google. I think Google is placing itself to overtake Apple as that safe asset or that safe part of the Mag 7 that people used to use Apple for, because Google is just firing on all cylinders. And I think Apple's days in as that number one company, if they don't catch up with AI, maybe quantum computing, Google is eating its lunch, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It's almost like it's a slow takeover of Apple. Apple still has the best products. People love Apple. They're a cult following, but Google with AI data centers, Google Gemini, YouTube is just too powerful. And it's one of those stocks where it's like you have to have it. Like remember when a couple of years where Apple you have to have it. Google's one of these stocks where you have to have it.
For sure. And then what's next?
All right, I want you to go. Can we do a ding ding? I want to do a profit alert, guys. On January
I
8th,
could do a drum roll.
drum roll. Hit the drum roll. On January 8th, guys, we told you Kratos, ticker symbol KTOS, okay? Kratos Defense was at $104. We told you to buy it. It's a life-changing stock. Today, okay, January 19th, the stock is sitting at 130. Almost a 30% gain, guys, in the last 11 days, okay? That's life-changing money. If you'd have listened to us here at Cash to Capital, you'd have that. That's a profit alert for us. All right? You got to look out for these profit alerts because we know what we're doing. Kratos Defense, 104 January 8th, now 130 bucks on January 19th. Give me a claps, man. What a
Yeah.
claps at, baby. Let's go. Good.
Yeah.
You
Shout out
got
my
any stock
dad for
picks?
making
You got
that.
any stock picks? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shout out to my dad for making that call out. And yeah, Grado's definitely is still a great company, to own portfolio, even though it has run up since our last video.
So, guys, just stay true to the plan. And the other reason I brought up Kratos is because Trump just signed a $1 trillion defense package. Kratos is going to be the beneficiary of a lot of that money. We are behind as a nation in terms of drones. Kratos provides those. Russia and China produce so many more drones than we do. So, Kratos is going to be a big beneficiary of this money, guys. And I think it's still, like I said, I think it's going to 200. So you're not too late to get in. All right. But just trade responsibly. Look for a pullback here, probably around. Looks like it dropped back down to. There was some support at 115, so that might be a buy-in moment. But I like Kratos a lot, not selling. Bought it at 104. It's at 130 now. Looking for it to go to 200 in the next 6 months.
Sure. I like that price target. You got anything else for us?
So I do have something else, but we're gonna do a next video. I got a couple more stock picks for you with this AI force. It's just so much money going into it. But we're going to get into telecommunications, guys. We haven't talked too much about that. Telecommunications, satellite, stuff like that. I got a great couple plays in that space. Super, super excited about that space. I got a little bit of insider information. My brother works for Verizon, so he gave me some great information. So I'm going to let you guys know it next time.
For sure. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And if you don't got anything else, then that's it.
What you got, son? What you got?
That's it.
All right, guys.
All right. See you next time.
Peace.